true. Just get rid of that. That can't be true, can it? So I'm just trying to explain that to you. You'd actually have to have two different variables here, because the same variable can't be true for both things unless you're doing numbers and greater and less than things. But when it comes to text, you can't really use the AND statement with the same variable. Okay, so that's AND and OR. I just thought I'd explain to you. So let's get back to the inputs. So we've already got the input if we wanted to do a message. Now we're going to do a chat system here, or a basic chat system. I'm going to explain to you. So what we're going to now look at is changing SRC. We're not going to output just to SRC alone. We're going to output to the world, whatever was in datas. And then I'm going to actually modify it slightly. So I'm going to output this message. I'm going to use the open speech mark. Then I'm going to put a square bracket in. That means I can actually output a variable along with text. I'm going to output the src.key, and then I'm going to close it. And then I'm going to just do something like this. Here I'm going to go says, and then I'm going to output data there. Okay, I'm going to go over this. So the speech marks define we're going to output speech. Then these open brackets define we're outputting a variable. So we're outputting the user's key. Then we're having a space here. We're outputting say colon space, and then we're outputting dates. So if I compile and run, now if we use inputs and go hello world, the riddler says hello world. As you can see, you've got a chat system going, and then if somebody else says something, it'll give their name and it'll tell you what they say. So that is a basic chat system using inputs and outputting to the world, which is every mob in the world in effect, or every player in the world. Now other than that, what we're going to do is we're going to look at using alert as another way of inputting. Finally, now alert works on this principle. We go datas equals alert. You can use alert on its own if you wanted to. If you just wanted to do an error message, I'll show you that in a minute. So you go again, it's SRC, which is the first option, the message. Select and options. You could have die, kill, quit, I don't know, whatever you want. Should actually all be caps, and that's it. After I've just done these, oops. Now basically what I'm defining here is SRC is the object I'm alerting it to. Select an option, that's the message. Options the title. Then the last three are the buttons, or the different options. Now if I run this now, you'll actually see what I mean. Oh look, I've got three options: die, kill and quit. Well, I want to do something when we click on one of those options. I'm going to use if you select the option die. And then we're going to go user selected die. Remember as well, it's a capital D for die there, so it has to be one there as well. Now I can compile and run that, and as soon as I select die, you selected die. We can use a switch statement. Now this is an added thing you can use with if statements. You can either do this two ways. Now if I put switch here and then put in datas, you then it just makes it a lot easier. Look, and actually one thing I've noticed before I do this, if die is not going to do anything, and if you are wondering, yes, I made a mistake there. It should be if die equals datas, because if die is always going to be true, isn't it? Now if I put die, it's actually working, and it's not working. The other option would have done it no matter what, as you can see. So now I've fixed that bug, I'm now going to show you switch, because I was getting ahead of myself there. I'm going to go switch dates, right? Then what we do is we indent like this. So it means that this if statement belongs to dates. So what it's like sticking this last equals dates on the end of everything, on the end of every line, on the end of every if statement. So I don't need it anymore. So that statement if die is saying if die equals dates in effect. So now if I run and select die, it will actually work, and it will actually work as well if I select a different option. So now I can go if kill, and then use whatever you want to put in there, and so on and so on. But then again, I don't need this variable dates now, because watch, if I get rid of the variable dates, and then if I get rid of it here, and instead of going dates equals alert, just go switch here of alert, the whole statement, I can then get rid of that switch statement, and I don't even need the variable dates anymore. So I'm actually checking if die is, if the option on alert was die, then do such and such. So now if I click on inputs, select die, it'll do that. Select kill, it'll do that. Select quit, I haven't done anything for quit yet. But as you can see, there you go, that's using switch and alerts. I hope you can follow this. And finally, you could do an alert just to output a message if you want. SRC error 101, and then you could go error message, whatever you want really, and then have one option OK, just alerting the user to an error as it says message error. Okay, you get the idea. So that should really help you. The switch statements are very useful, used quite a lot, and I hope this tutorial has actually taught you quite